Warning, this video contains rumors, speculation, strong opinions, and
welcome to Movie Madness! I got a hot one tonight! And you know what? It's hard as hell to do the fair's balanced view on this one. Because it shows, absolutely proves, how far these movements have gone from their origins. You know, hey, knock knock, world-class bullshitters, Jeff, Jeremy, and EVS, people wanted to be in this movement for better quality, not just to support your team. How is EVS white knighting for Jeff any different than those in the Marvel and DC propping up people that are untalented just because of their beliefs? Because you're only protecting him because he's on your team. And I honestly, the reason I'm making this video right now is I just watched the comic book cut. Shout out to the comic book cut, the people's champion. I still want him on the show. This is how full of shit Jeff is. Full of shit. Absolute shit. You cannot deny it, saying he's going to sue for defamation of character for people making videos. Are you freaking kidding me? Are you kidding me? Maybe, yeah, lots of people could sue for that, including a lot of your videos and a lot of the videos coming out of the Fandom Menace from Ryan. And I'm not excluded in that. This is just some stupid ass shit. Now you're going to sue people for having opinions. When you're the most opinionated asshole on this tube. Not like the way the people's champion was giving you the facts. But they are the facts. Talking about suing, maybe false advertising or false perks on your Indiegogo. Because they were an absolute freaking lie. And you know what? Mistakes happen. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt there. But when you issue a card that says will be sent out by February 2019, and then you don't deliver, and then you ignore people asking for a refund. Now, is it lame to ask for a refund? It can be. But when you give a date and you pass the date, then you open yourself up to it. If you send out a card that says this will be sent by February 2019, you're asking for it, brother. Okay, so that was number one. Number two is exceeding industry standards. Full of shit. The disaster we saw this week was not just that it was shipped in the mail by itself. It was actually the comic itself. And I checked your Twitter feed, bro. You got stuff up there that doesn't make you look too good because you said 2 months ago, I got a digital copy, I looked it over my editor to make sure everything was right. So beyond the way it was shipped, you looked over that and approved it. That's on you. Why am I so hot? It's because these movements are pointless now, and it's only about the social justice, SJW politics. And that's not what a lot of us got into. Comment below if you got into these movements, not just for one talking point, but for quality across the board. And this is not representing quality. And to say I'm gonna sue because someone's talking about me because they're talking about the product, and it's not, I'm not happy with it, and you're the one that you're the one that made calling people a shill popular. You're shilling for your own group when you know it's shit. And it's not world class. Just shit! Alright, and then on November 2nd, he tweeted with an exclamation point, check your mailboxes. What does that mean? Does that mean he didn't know they were going out? No, that meant he did, and to check your mailboxes for your receipt, and that he never intended to sign it. So he's got two freaking lies right in his top tier. So and then you're going to talking about suing, you should just keep your mouth shut and hope that it passes you by and the storm goes by you. But no, you gotta unbe-freaking-believable. 2 lies right there. On November 2nd says check your mailboxes, proves you had no intention of signing. So, it's absolute bullshit. Industry standards and signing. Oh, that's why I'm making this video. I just watched the comic book cut. Go say the madman sent you. We support you, the Hut, the people's champion, and don't back down the bullies. Because all you're doing is reporting on the news. Talking about suing for opinions and reviews. Unbelievable. Look who's talking. So I'm trying to keep it calm, but this recent development absolutely pissed me off. They could have just let things go like it is. Unbelievable. The ones that should be the last to bring this up are the first to do it. You might like Jeff, but this is proof that he's full of shit. I'm sorry. It's right there. It's not hard to find. It's not lies. It is not lies, Jeff. It says it right there in your Indiegogo, your card. Now, one thing that the comic book cut missed, to be fair, as fair and balanced as I can, he did post monthly updates. Okay, so I don't think the Hut covered that part enough, but everything else was completely accurate. The perks, who knows if all the perks are going to be fulfilled, ever. And if it's just a reprint of the comic that's been shown online, is it even worth it? I want to support people starting new projects, being creative, but exceed industry standards, signed copy. This wouldn't have happened if you signed your copies, because they would be sent to you. You didn't go that route, and now you're paying the price, maybe double the price, because as much as he says on his Twitter feed that they've admitted fault, he says, I'm placing a new order in. Who knows what that means? So this Sunday, I do have some guests coming on to the War Council, and I hope they defend Jeff. And I'm not going to talk about it too much. I want to talk about the Mando on this episode of War Council, because that was my favorite episode ever. Episode 6. But this needs to be talked about when they're backed in the corner. This is exactly social justice warrior tactics. Inferior product. You bring up a lawsuit. Potential lawsuit. And you support people no matter what the hell they do just because they're on your team. That's exactly what social justice warriors do. And how we started this shit. And it's not gangster shit. It's just shit. And that seems like the way that these movements are going. You know how many friends... Well, I'm not going to say they're not my friends. Do you know how many acquaintances I've lost since I started calling this shit out too? Do you think it helps me to say this stuff? No, it doesn't. You got to be fair and balanced, and you got to realize what this does. Just shilling for your group. Shilling for a narrative of everything's woke and everything sucks. Being first to criticize but can't take it. Shows how weak you are. Weak. The whole movement's weak. It's gone to shit. This is not the way. I want to know what you think. If you want to see the whole clip, go check out the comic book cut. He actually plays the audio. I found out I could sue them. You did some research on that, but not your shipping. You figured out how to sue people, possibly, but you didn't spend enough time ironing out the details when you knew you were never going to look at an actual printed copy. You looked at the digital, and they're supposed to fulfill it, so you had no intention of fulfilling your perk. And then you're talking about suing. Real bad look, Jeff. Real bad. I'll see you tomorrow.